everyone. Welcome to our February edition of our Grab and Go Crafts. I'm Alex, the Adult Services Librarian, and I'm going to show you today how to make this adorable little paper flower mounted on canvas, and you'll have a nice easel to use at home, whether you put it on a bookshelf or at your desk. There'll be a nice addition to your collection of crafts. So I'm going to start out today with the things that you'll need to gather from home. You are going to need a set of tweezers because we are hand crimping the leaves and cutting those out. You're going to need either a chopstick or a pencil in which to roll the sculpted petals. You'll need some glue. And you're also going to need a pair of scissors to cut the leaves out. So those are the items that you're going to need to gather from home first. The next things I'll go through is what should be in your kit before you start. You're going to have a 15-inch piece of tulle. You're going to have a 32-inch piece of twine. Each kit is also going to have this 4x4 canvas. You're going to have a green piece of paper. You're going to have hope. You will have 4 tiny dragonflies. You will have 1 jewel. And then you will have 1 small set of petals. You're going to have 1 medium petal. And then you will have 3 larger petals. There are a variety of different color palettes in the kits. There's a couple different ones because we're using donated scrapbook paper. So you may not have this particular color, you may have something closer to this, and there's a third choice as well. But they're all pretty much in the same color palette, some blues, some pinks, that type of thing. And I think they're all gonna come out really, really pretty and delicate. So the first thing we're going to start out with is you're going to take your 4x4 canvas. And if you take a look, I have it layered where the tulle is on the bottom and then the twine. They're both wrapped around and then knotted at the back. And I'll show you that real quick. I took the tulle, because it is a wider piece of tulle, I kind of bunched it like that to make it, and then tied it in the back. And you can trim the ends once you have a nice knot tied. You can trim the ends so that it's not as bulky if you choose, because there will be some extra. I wanted to make sure people had enough give to tie the knot. But once everything is on there, if you choose to adjust it and cut it, you're more than welcome to. The next, and I did it, if you take a look on here, I started about maybe, I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way up. You can kind of play around with it after you cut out your, and sculpt your petals and figure out where you want it to lie on yours. The next thing is you're going to take your twine and you're going to start with the twine in the front, okay? Kind of make it even and then wrap it around twice. So you're going to start with it in the front, wrap it around the back, then you're going to wrap it around the front again and bring it to the back and tie the knot. That gives you a couple layers of the twine. And just do a simple knot in the back. I'll show you how that's going to look. So it's going to look like that, and then you can kind of bunch it and play with how you want it to look. So you will end up with 3 pieces of twine and a wide piece of tulle across the front. Okay, so that's where we're going to start out. The next piece is we're going to make our leaves, and those, if you take a look, you can see they're very delicate, and we're going to cut them out of the green paper. And then that's where we're going to use our tweezers to kind of crimp them to give them that pretty folded look that you see there. So your green piece of paper should be folded into thirds. You can, it's up to you how you want your leaves to look. It's totally up to you. If you look, I have one inside another one and then one off to the side. You can put 3, one on either side and one in the middle. It's totally up to you how you'd like it to look. And I think it all depends on, once you start playing with the twine and the tool, what it looks like on your canvas and how you want it to appear. So the first thing we'll do is we'll create one of the leaves. You're going to cut one of the thirds off. You're going to fold it, that piece, in half. And this is kind of where, if you want to practice first on a separate piece of paper, you can. You're going to cut out the leaf shape, okay? You can take a pencil and kind of trace something if you don't want to do it freehand. But basically, you're going to want to cut in that type of shape. It's kind of, I don't know if you want to call it an oval, but you want it to start at the one corner, go out a little bit, and then come back into the bottom corner. You're going to take your scissors and cut that. Okay, and so now you have a cute little leaf. And this is where we're going to take our tweezers, because we're going to have it, we're going to create some ridges on it so it actually looks like what you would see in nature with the ridges on a leaf. So you're going to take your tweezers and you're just going to take the tip and you're going to bend one way, and then you're going to move a little bit down further and bend another way. Okay, and then you're going to go in the opposite direction. Take your tweezers, move down a little bit and bend, move down a little bit and bend. And you kind of want to fold it with your thumb so you get that distinct look on your leaf. Go down a little bit, bend again, and you're going to go all the way down the leaf. Okay, I'm going to keep bending till we get to the end, and then once you open up your leaf, it's going to look really pretty. You'll have that look. So you're going to do that 3 times with your green paper, and you'll put those aside. The next piece we're going to do, because we want to get that scalloped look on your petals, and all your petals are flat, so you're going to do that with either the chopstick or the pencil. So whichever you choose, you want to use the narrower end, because you're going to be kind of rolling. So I'm going to take my medium leaf and I'm going to just roll the tip, and so you end up with that kind of scalloped look. And you're going to do that with each of the petals, and you're going to go around. So you'll do that for all the petals. And as you, don't worry about over rolling, because you can kind of flatten it out a little bit more once you're done if you like. And you're going to do that with your large petals as well. Not quite as drastic of a fold. One of your large petals, you are going to have a little bit more of a fold. One of your large petals, you're going to leave flat. And then one of the other ones, the third one, you want to scallop a little bit. And it all depends on the look you want for your petals. My bottom one is very flat, and then the other 3, the 2 of the larger ones have a little bit of a fold in it, and then the middle one has more of a drastic fold. So you'll want to do that with your petals. And again, you can kind of tweak it as you put it together, and you're like, oh, I want it to be a little bit fuller. You can just do that. Alrighty. So the next piece of it, once you have your canvas with your tulle and your twine, you've made your leaves and you've rolled your petals. The next part is gluing everything down. Oh, and also your hope, you're just going to have to cut that out as well. We have it printed on cardstock. You'll just want to cut that out as well with your scissors. So the rest of it is you can make yours exactly like I have mine, or you can put your dragonflies in a different location. Start with your flower first and kind of gauge where you're going to put everything on your canvas based on where your flower is. You could choose to have your flower more in the middle and change up where you have your other pieces. I liked the flower off to the side with the petals facing down. I like that look, but certainly you can create it how you enjoy it visually for yourself. And so once you've done that, that's where your glue is going to come into play. The first thing you're going to want to do is, I glued the flower pieces together first, let them dry, and then I glued them to the tulle and the twine. So you start with your flat one. You're going to put a little glue on the back of your one that's curled a little bit. And when you glue them together, you're going to want to kind of alternate the petals so they're not one on top of the other and they match. You're going to have your flat petal, and you're going to want to make sure that your petals are kind of alternating. I don't know if you can see that, but you want this petal, the middle part, to be in between. So you're kind of alternating how it looks, so it's not one right on top of the other, like you're kind of moving it to the side. You'll glue that down. You'll put some glue on the back of this one. You'll kind of alternate that one. And you're going to do that. Then your middle petal. And see, you'll get something that's a little bit scalloped. And in the middle, each of you will have one jewel. You're going to peel it off and put a dab of glue. Oh, wait a minute. Before you do your jewel, you're going to take your tiniest petals, and you're going to, you can kind of with your hand, I would say, you're going to, because it's a little too small to roll with the pencil, so that they're not lying flat, if you can see that. And that will go inside the medium-sized petal. Glue that down. And then on top of that, you're going to glue your jewel. So you can see the different layers here, how I have them layered. Okay, let the petals dry, and then decide where you want your leaves and your petals to go. And then the next step would be, I stuck my leaves under the tulle. Okay, so I'll show you on the sample here. I kind of figured out, once my petals were done, where my leaves were going to go. Okay, I put some glue on the back, and then I stuck them under, and then I pressed. Okay, and you're going to want to do that with all your leaves. Get your leaves set, take your petals, put them on top. Is what I did with the petals is I put glue on the back, but I also kind of saturated the top of the tulle and the twine so that there was a good bond with the glue, and I held it down for about 30 seconds to a minute to make sure it stayed, and then I let it dry, all dry flat. Okay, once you have that done. Let it dry for a little period of time, and then you can, once that is dry, then you can put it upright and start gluing your other pieces on, and that's where you can kind of design. And if you want, I liked, because I had my flower off to the side, I put one dragonfly up here and 3 fit nicely up here, and then my hope in this corner. And those, just, be careful as you're gluing. Less is more, because if it oozes out the side, you're gonna see it. With the dragonflies, I took just a little bit of glue, put a dot on a napkin, and I put my finger in it and then just put it on the back of the dragonfly very gently. I did not pour the glue onto the dragonfly because they're really tiny. And then I placed them where I wanted them. And then you can place your hope. Let that dry. I would let it dry for like an hour or so. Give it, especially where if you use a generous amount of glue with the tulle and the twine. That way it's nice and dry. You'll have this easel that you can display your completed project, and you're all set. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me at acml_librarian@comcast.net if you ever have any questions about the craft that you're doing. Supplies, if you need additional supplies in your kit, we're always here for you. You can also call the circulation desk at 424-4044. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you next month. Bye-bye.